lesson plan is how to be a friend and emotional awareness. We're also going to put a little mindfulness and learning how to be in the present moment in this lesson. This lesson only has 2 art projects. I may create more as we go along and we get into this unit, because I know it's something that the kids are really going to enjoy. And I'm adding things like there's a story, it's called How to Be a Friend. I'll be uploading that to YouTube, so make sure that your kiddos listen to it. It's a really good story. And we're going to be having lots of conversations in circle time. But like I said, I may add more art to this one as we go along. So, because the kids will be really interested in it. I wanted to briefly discuss why it's important for children to know how to be a friend and to recognize, I would not say regulate, I would say recognize their own emotions. By the time your child goes to kindergarten, they are going to predominantly be learning linear as far as, they're still going to play and they'll have PE, but it's definitely more academic focused when you get to kindergarten. And there is a misconception that if you don't introduce academics early enough, your child won't have that advantage that other children do if their parents are working with them. It's great to work with your child with anything. At any point, if you're ever working with your child doing anything, it's great. So I would never say don't work with your child on academics. I think it's just important to understand by the time they get to kinder, they've spent 2 years or more learning how to be a friend, how to talk to someone, how to ask a strange person that they've never seen before to play with them. They've learned how to listen to a teacher. They've learned how to recognize their own emotions and be able to express them, so that when they do get into that kindergarten class, they will be able to streamline and focus what they are learning on the academics that are presented to them in class. So it's really important to know that, because if you get to kindergarten and I'm struggling making friends or keeping them, when my teacher talks to me, I don't understand what she's saying, and I don't want to listen to her. If we're having feelings that are super strong inside, but we can't name them or say what they are, then learning the hard stuff is going to be so much harder, okay? So preschool is really just learning how to be a person. It really encompasses preschool, and it's always in a very, very safe environment, because all the childhood development experts know this. Children need a safe environment to reach their fullest potential. That is a fact. So just be aware whenever you're working with your kiddos, if you do print out a chart, an emotions chart, I think it was sent on GroupMe, and you practice having your child do that every morning, just make sure that they understand that there's never any wrong answer. When we talk about things like anger in the classroom, I always ask the children, is it okay to be angry? Are you allowed to be angry at preschool? And a lot of the time say no. So they're still learning too about separating their emotions from their physical actions, and just sort of taking that hit that I'm angry right now and that is not okay. So that's what we want to undo. And that's sort of something that is a societal thing. It's been passed down generation to generation to generation. It is okay for you to be angry. It is not okay to hit when you're angry. But if you're angry, you could do these other things and just you go for a run, go for a walk. If it's really intense, punch a pillow. There is a safe way to express 100% of a human being's emotions, especially a young child's. Okay? So I've blabbed on about that. This is a cardstock. It's really nice. Love this cardstock. And if you have already bought a canvas for the art show, please use that to do this. Or you could practice on the cardstock or on a piece of construction paper, and then do it a second time on your canvas so that you can keep it forever. This art project has been a staple of the preschool for quite some time. I have all my children's paintings of their emotional painting, and my daughter's, as you know, 18. So it's one of those things that's a really special keepsake to have. If you have access to a canvas, if you can order one, absolutely I would encourage you to do that. I don't want to say what the size was because I don't remember. Really any size would do, but the nice larger square is perfect. So you're going to pick 4 colors. In preschool, we use pink, we use yellow, blue, and green. You do not have to choose these specific colors. I even hesitate a little bit with pink because so many children, they associate it with gender, and so, well, pink is something that girls do and girls play with and girls feel, and you really want them, not to do that, or to realize that, you know, every color is for every person. It doesn't have to be boy versus girl. So you don't have to use pink. You could use red if you wanted to and keep all primary colors plus green. But whatever colors you use, just try to make them as neutral as possible. Children tend not to associate blue as much with gender as pink, so that's usually a pretty good one. So you're gonna lay out whatever 4 colors you're using, and you're gonna put a piece of painter's tape that you're gonna put it horizontally and vertically, so one here and then one in the middle across here. So you'll have 4 open squares, okay? So then you're gonna ask your child, how does this, or what color makes you feel happy? And let them paint. And then ask them, while they're painting, you wanna make sure this doesn't feel like an interview to them, because nothing will make a child clam up like if they feel like they're being like talked to and the answers are really important. So you wanna make sure that they're relaxed, and you tell them, oh, just, okay, paint whatever color makes you happy, just paint whatever you want to in that square. You can paint the whole thing, or you can make something, it's totally up to you. And then when you see that they're relaxed and engaged in the art, that's when you ask them, why does that make you feel happy? And I'll usually go even further and say, does that color make you think about something that makes you feel happy? And so you're gonna ask these questions, and as they're talking to you and they're telling you the answers, you wanna write them all down, okay? And again, there's no wrong answers. I've had kiddos tell me, blue is angry because my dad was mad at me, or my mom. I mean, this really is a nice, it's a nice way for them to self-express in a way that makes them feel like they are in control of it and not an adult. So it's really important. So then you'll go to the next one. So it's happy, angry, excited, doesn't have to be this order either, and sad. So you've got 2 what society would say positive emotions and 2 more challenging ones. And you want to talk about all of them equally. Okay. So that's that. And then you guys all have a piece of paper in your bag. It's just like this, plain paper, and it says how to be a friend on top. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna talk about friendship with your kiddo. Definitely have them watch the video of me reading the book, How to Be a Friend, because it's a really insightful, it'll be thought-provoking for them, but it kind of gets deep into what friendship is, and it's good, it's interesting. So you'll have them watch that, and then you'll ask them, what do you think being a good friend looks like? How do you want people to treat you? How do you want your friends to treat you? And then talk about how they want people to treat them is how they should be treating other people. And then maybe ask them, do you feel like you treat other people the way that you want to be treated? There's lots of dialogue can go into this, and I'm gonna do a video that's really in depth, because at the parent meeting, the feedback was that you guys wanted me to do like art projects and then have me be a part of your art experience at home, which I love the idea. So I will do that for both of these projects, okay? So if you're not sure, like, I don't know what answer, like what questions to ask my child, you know, then that part will help. That video will help. And like I said, I'm going to be building on this one. This is a really important one. Like I said, if your child goes to kindergarten confident and they know how to navigate with other people, the academics are going to be so much easier for them to learn. And then the easier the academics is for them to learn, if they have everything they need to be in that space, their confidence will go through the roof. And it's really a very malleable time for children. How they feel about themselves in the younger grades is going to dictate how they feel about themselves as they grow older. So when they're older, like for example, I felt really confident about myself when I was a child up to a certain point, and then I didn't. And by that point, I was a teenager. So I had enough years of feeling confident about myself to learn that I bounced out of that pretty quickly. But if it's the opposite way, and they know that when they're in a classroom, they don't feel good. They don't feel good about themselves. They might not feel good about the people around them. And that can affect how they feel about school from the very beginning. So this is part of the reason why early education is so important, because you're literally helping them to write their own story from the beginning until they move out. But the beginning is what dictates the rest of it. Not to say that we can't change, we can, but it's really, really important to be part of that. Yeah, and to make sure that they feel good. Okay, hope you enjoy it, have fun.